Starting us off in at number 10, Chica and Foxy. One quick Google search for these two and you'll be privy to a plethora of fan art depicting the pirate fox and the insatiable chicken making love eyes at one another, kissing, and in some fan art, seemingly straddling one another. Yeah. It's a thing. Whether it's because Chica's bossiness and Foxy's bad boy persona fit well together, or it's because the idea of a chicken and a fox romantically falling in love with one another is appealing to some, the ship has gotten some serious love online from fans. Moving on to number 9, Springtrap and Golden Freddy. Now for those of you a little less familiar with the Five Nights franchise, Springtrap is a character who first appeared in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, and then appeared in subsequent games. He's the main and only corporeal antagonist in that third game, and is the mutated corpse of William Afton that's been trapped inside of a very badly damaged animatronic bunny suit that appears to be an early iteration of Bonnie. So yeah, this ship is with a reanimated corpse and a Golden Freddy, who is a mysterious ghost-like yellow version of Freddy. I mean, when you look at it like that, it does kind of make sense then, huh? Moving on to something equally as disturbing, in at number 8, Circus Baby and Funtime Freddy. Personally, I find Circus Baby incredibly unsettling. Just look at her, She's the mascot of Circus Baby's Pizza World, a sister location to Freddy's, as implied in the title of Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, the 4th game in the series. She is the focal animatronic in that game, and she is terrifying. So it makes sense that she would be shipped with Funtime Freddy, a white and pink version of Freddy found at Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rental. Aesthetically, they actually look pretty good together, I suppose. And this version of Freddy is actually quite nice to children, rarely expressing a psychotic side, and has a puppet named Bon Bon who kinda looks like Bonnie, who tries to calm him down often. So,
In at number 7, Ennard and Exotic Butters. This is just... what the actual Shipping animatronics based on characters is one thing. Sure, shipping a collection of animatronics with no discernible character is another, but then shipping that amalgam with a basket of butter is totally a different thing. That honestly makes me feel incredibly cursed. Like, what the actual ever-loving hell is that? How does that even, like, how would that even... It's a basket of butter, people! It doesn't even have eyes, let alone the capacity to love. Why is Ennard and Exotic Butters even a thing? This is one of the most confusing moments of my life, including what happened literally a year ago, probably like to the week. I have debated just like letting this whole thing be a run-on sentence because I can't handle the amount of buffoonery that is going on in order to cause this to even cross someone's mind. Then, like, this is the kind of thing that makes me question ships altogether, like in every single aspect of reality. Because you can argue that it's the characters you're shipping all you want, okay? But this disproves that concept in my mind. Like how one person does something and then the entire class gets punished. Yeah, you can blame the Ennard x Exotic Butters shippers for making the entire concept of shipping characters and whatever ridiculous, okay? And that's not even the worst one. We're not even halfway done. And at 6, Toy Bonnie and Toy Chica. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I thought that this was fairly normal. But looking this up, this was generally not safe for the majority of audiences. This is some of the most concerning fan art that I have ever seen. Like, seriously, I'm gonna need some actual eye bleach after this. So if you could please just refrain from posting anything like this in the future, I would really appreciate it. Like, none of the drawings that I saw were friendly. They all had something exposed, and sometimes had multiple somethings. Like, Bonnie is supposed to be a male character, okay? And in the fan art, sometimes he was, sometimes he wasn't. Sometimes they were both. Like, same thing with Chica, okay? And honestly, it's not that like I'm against it or anything. It's just, it's disturbing when it's animatronics that are anthropomorphic animals, okay? I mean, like, these animatronics, they're robots. They don't really have genders or biological sexes, because, again, they're robots, so who really cares? But, like, what the hell? These are as intense as a heart attack. Like, Jesus. It was just Easter, and this is the reason Jesus didn't come back this time. Although, from the context of these images, in this case, we already got a second coming. Ironically, Bonnie is a bunny, and so is the Easter Bunny. But for real, this is some haunting stuff. Plus, again, Chica's mine, so back on. Halfway through, in at number 5, Ennard and Ballora. This is a whole other kind of weird. Like, we have some messed up stuff coming up in the next few numbers, but this is a little self-gratifying, if you ask me. Did anyone realize that Ballora was a part of Ennard when they were drawing these? Cause like, that's a whole other can of worms that's just trying to bust out that I'm ignoring cause I don't want to look at it. In fact, this whole fishing shop is giving me weird vibes. This is just... Plus, if you think about it, Ballora was intended on being a surrogate mother, and then in Ennard is baby. Ennard is in part baby, meaning that this ship is in essence Elizabeth with her mother. Like, not literally, thank God, although I'm positive that it's out there somewhere. I don't have the courage to look that up. Like, what the heck? What the hell? Like, what's the point of this? Seriously, no jokes. Why do people ship animatronics? I don't get that mindset. It's not like they're gonna make any of these canon, because again, they're animatronics. It's weird. Although I guess it's not as bad as like shipping like people together, like real people, not characters. Like instead of shipping Peter and MJ, you ship Tom and Zendaya. I mean, like that would be weirder if they weren't dating, but like if you ship two like actual humans that aren't dating, that's weird. They are dating, right? I thought that was confirmed. In at 4, Springtrap and Sans. This is just... This is worse than Ennard and Exotic Butters, honestly. Like, why are you shipping Springtrap with Ness? Get it? Because Sans is Ness. That's not even a character in the series, for God's sakes. Like, that is cringe. How the ever-loving hell does that even work? There are whole Instagram accounts revolving around this concept, and I don't know if it's a joke or not. Like, who thought of this? What made this idea come to life? How many illicit substances were you on at the time of conception? How many cigarettes did you smoke? How much wine did you, how much sushi did you eat when you were inseminated with this idea? Sans is like a 2-foot-tall skeleton boy, and Springtrap is a possessed, supposed to be dead serial killer who has taken more lives than years that Sans has lived. Okay, not really, but you get my point, right? Like, the balance here is just all kinds of confusing. Like when I saw who Vanessa Morgan was engaged to at one point, like the girl from Riverdale who was engaged to the football player that was like twice her height and 3 times her width. How does that even work? Sans would need an actual ladder to actually even have a conversation, let alone kiss anyone. Not even like a step ladder, like an actual ladder. I wouldn't even bat an eye if they were using one of the extending ladders that fire trucks have. Like, yeah, this is all kinds of screwy. And this is in part the reason I need to bleach my eyes, honestly.
Moving on to number 3, Bonnie and Chica. Sometimes these two are imagined as being best pals. Other times in fan art, these two are a romantic item. Now they're kind of the most obvious ship in the game, sorry Freddy, with Bonnie being the cool guitar player and Chica the backup singer who clearly has the hots for him. Anyway, there's a whole lot of fan art of these two, but nothing compares to this other iteration of their ship. And last but not least, the most horrific ship of them all, in at number 1, Springtrap and Mangle. I mean, obviously, look at them. Also, they both hate children too, so what a pair. Just taking a look at both of these partially destroyed animatronics, and you can clearly see that they're a match made in heaven. And actually, they're another popular pair that has a whole lot of fan art kicking around the interwebs, but mostly fan art that depicts their bodies not completely destroyed, or mangled for lack of a better term there. Some have even gone as far as naming this ship Springle, which makes me think of Pringles. And now I kinda want a snack, so there we go.
In at 10, Freddy and Chica. This is actually just because of the thumbnail for the original Scary Fanships video, because I remember making that thumbnail and it was a traumatizing experience. Why do people ship animatronics anyway? Or like, the characters. Like, what's the point? What's the amusement in it? Like, there's no way that, especially in this series, any of these characters are going to be confirmed to be dating. Like, I can understand shipping characters that might get together, like on TV shows like Bones or Arrow, but these characters are just giant animals, so what's the point of trying to ship them? I'm not usually one to yak someone's yick, but like, come on. Seriously, I don't understand it. And I mean, like, a bear and a chicken? Do you know the size difference there? I couldn't even, like, I don't even care about the size difference of the characters. I'm talking about the actual animals, because I can't wrap my head around it, okay? Although, a chicken the size of a bear would be a good source of protein. In at 9, Baby X Puppet. Okay, why? Like, what the ever-loving hell is this? I search up cringe FNAF ships, like I'm not gonna get weird ads from it, and the first thing I see is Baby and the puppet. Do you realize that these are like dead people, right? Like, one of them is the daughter of the dude that killed the other. Like, this is some serious star-crossed lovers BS, because that makes absolutely no sense. This is worse than Romeo and Juliet with guns. Like, this is worse than the Leonardo DiCaprio Romeo and Juliet modern day movie. And even if you are shipping the characters, why? Why do the puppet and Baby deserve to be together? Like, what? One of them was designed to take lives, literally, and the other was designed to guard a girl so that her life wasn't taken. This is some serious reaching, and I mean like Mr. Fantastic level reaching. Not to mention that there are literally 3-year-olds possessing these animatronics. So I don't know what kind of creep level you're on, but I can hear Chris Hansen knocking on your door, trying to ask you some questions. Like, bro, seriously, that's more sus than Gregory venting. Hop on the sus bus, bro, here we go.
In at number 6, Golden Freddy and Chica. Because they're yellow. Actually, that is the main reason why this ship is a ship. Sometimes it's all about aesthetics for people. Moving on. In at number 5, Foxy and Mangle. To some, this is a joke ship. To others, it's a ship to be taken seriously. Many consider this couple to be relatively canon too. Sort of. Context time. Mangle is an animatronic that first showed up in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. It is also known as Toy Foxy or Funtime Foxy, but a mangled up version of an iteration of Foxy that has a smaller nose. Now, her backstory is that she was an attempt at remaking Foxy since the original Foxy was too scary. But kids kept breaking this animatronic and it became a mess of parts known to employees as the Mangle. Now, Mangle is often referred to as female thanks to the custom night mode Ladies Night. So, there you go.
Getting close to the end, in at number 3, Vanny and Burn Trap. This one is just all kinds of wrong. Firstly, this is the most Stockholm Syndrome thing to the goddamn max. Okay, like Vanny is literally being kept captive inside of her mind by Burn Trap to a point where she literally fears for her life when her shrink finds out she bought fabric for a costume. She's under his command at basically any time, and then you people want to ship her with the body of a dead serial killer trapped in an animatronic that was then repossessed by the same dead serial killer's sentient code form. Do I need to explain how messed up that is? Really? Like, bro, we thought William was rotting before, now he is literally rotten. Now it is finally his corpse version. Like, what the hell? Who, the ever-loving flying thought that this was a sane combination? Like, don't get me wrong, Vanessa is looking fly as hell in the base game. The sass when interrogating Freddy certainly got me moving. But this is messed up. Like, at least ship her with an alive serial killer. And ultimately, in at number 2, Mike and Baby. Shipping Michael and Baby is very similar to shipping Vanny and Burn Trap, considering how Baby is definitely going to be a bigger antagonist later in the series, or at least has the potential to be, since in the FNAF 6 ending she wanted to impress dear old dad. But this time around, it has the added layer of Michael and Baby being siblings. Yes, if you don't remember, somehow, Baby is possessed by the spirit of Elizabeth, William's daughter, and more importantly in this situation, Michael's sister. You can tell me that it's the character you're shipping all you goddamn want, but in this instance, you are shipping a character who in that reality, in that world, is a real human. Therefore, you would have to be shipping them with the animatronic that is also real. And just how would that have to work from a logical standpoint? That's just how it would have to work from a logical standpoint. Therefore, you are literally shipping Michael and his dead sister. And that is the most cringe-worthy thing that I have ever seen. Okay, well, the second cringiest, because this next one, oh boy, is it a doozy. And I've mentioned this many times before, but as of like a month ago, for reasons that I will not explain, I have a vendetta against this. So I am tearing him to shreds as much as I can. Finally, in at number 1, Springtrap and Anyone. Okay, Springtrap is one of the most confusingly Rule 34'd characters I have ever seen. There have been multiple people who have DM'd me on Instagram saying that they're in love with Springtrap, and then there are others who have sent me ruled art of Springtrap, along with the reason that caused me a great deal of pain that I'm not going to talk about. But let's get one thing straight, okay? No matter who you are shipping, Springtrap and whoever, you are shipping them with a possessed serial killer who probably took their lives to begin with, who should be dead but is being kept alive by the spirit of their dead son. There is no Springtrap character, okay? The character is Springluck Bonnie. But using the name of Springtrap, you are actively shipping the William Afton version of Spring Bonnie. And let's say you're shipping him with any of the original 5 animatronics. It doesn't matter who, okay? Boom! You're shipping him with one of his victims because, again, he is in that real world a person. Same thing as Michael, okay? Ship him with the puppet, boom, his first victim. With Baby, boom, that's his daughter. The amount of let's call it love that this character gets is frightening, and in reality it showcases the daddy issues you all have. And normally that would be fine, but in this instance this is like, was your father Jeffrey Dahmer? God.
Number 10, Captain Foxy. I mean, what is better than regular Foxy? Definitely a more decorated version of everyone's favorite pirate animatronic. That's right, we're talking about Captain Foxy from the Curse of the Dreadbear expansion for the FNAF virtual reality game, Help Wanted. I also really love Foxy's coat here. I feel like actually a lot of my choices for this list are going to be based on fashion, but hey, part of what makes an animatronic or a person I think hot is their sense of style. And pirate style is already something I'm super here for. I love pirates. So the added bonus of this piratey hat and coat with epaulettes on it only heightens the appearance of Foxy here. Epaulettes, by the way, are the name for what some might see as kind of like fancy shoulder pads on coats. They're actually used to symbolize a person's rank in the military, so either Captain Foxy is higher in rank than normal Foxy, or he stole this coat from someone that was a higher rank and who was, you know, working on the seas. That's probably more likely because pirate, so yeah. Epaulettes, when made from metal, can also be referred to as shoulder scales, FYI. I love that term, shoulder scales. Makes you sound like you're a cool dragon. And friends, before we move on to this next spot, if you love what we do here at Top 10 Gaming and you love all of our FNAF content, why not subscribe so that you don't miss out on anything new we're putting out? I know some of you don't subscribe, so please subscribe. Do it. Number 9, Toy Freddy. I thought it was only fair that Toy Freddy got some love on this list, considering that so many of the toy animatronics were highlighted on the part 1, and only one other version of Freddy made that other cut as well. I know Freddy isn't often thought of as like the hottest or even like the most favorite animatronic of the bunch, which I think is kind of sad, considering he is the main mascot generally of Fazbear establishments. Toy Freddy has a cute and shiny look to him. One of my favorite things about the toy animatronics in general is the shine on them and their colored cheeks. Like they're wearing blush. Toy Freddy also sports a black bow tie and top hat with a red rim, making him look quite dapper, I gotta say. Number 8, Happy Frog. I like when people are happy. Honestly, I think that can be a hot quality. Not that you can't, you know, be hot and also be sad, because that also happens a lot. And I also like the color of Happy Frog's purple eyes myself. I've always liked the color purple, and honestly, I actually wanted to have purple eyes myself when I was a kid, although I'm not sure if that's actually a thing you can be born with. I always dreamed like maybe my eyes will change color and I'll have purple eyes. I know there are people who have been rumored to have purple eyes and claim that they have purple eyes, but I don't think that's actually a natural color that exists genetically. But let me know if I'm wrong about that. I also acknowledge that with Happy Frog's eyes technically being the color of magenta, some actually might see them as more pink than purple, but I guess that really depends on how you individually see color and, you know, also the color settings that are on your monitor. Happy Frog is one of the animatronics to appear in the Mediocre Melodies. She first appeared alongside her fellow bandmates in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. Number 7, Lefty. I don't know what exactly it is about Lefty, but I just find him kind of handsome. Is that weird? I guess it's kind of weird. Lefty isn't maybe an animatronic that people immediately think about when they think hot, but I do. I think he stands out for me
me when it comes to good looking animatronics for some reason. I will say I've also seen people transform Lefty and reimagine him as a female, and even that has been pretty spiffy, I gotta say. Something I would love to see is Lefty get an eye patch like Foxy. I feel like he could really rock it. I feel like he'd look quite sporting and quite spiffy with an eye patch. There's also some weird imagery when it comes to Lefty's potential sexiness, with him being highlighted as a deadly sexy character, kind of like a more sinister version of Freddy, like a sexy villain if you will. Although technically in a way all the animatronics I guess are kind of villains for the most part, or at least antagonists, as many of them do try to, you know, kill you in game. Finding any of them, you know, hot is kind of weird, I guess. Number 6, Funtime Chica. I feel like the Funtime animatronics just in general really have just something going on with them. Maybe it's because they have the word Funtime in their names. Is there anything hotter than someone who advertises their love for having a fun time? Personally, I am here for people who just want to have fun. When it comes to Chica, there is also her coloring here to consider, and of course, the fact that it's Chica, but just in a fun time form. We always love Chica, don't we? We are big stands for Chica. Even with Rockstar Chica getting some love on this list, which I think truly speaks for how people are in love with this character. Because to me, Rockstar Chica, I don't know, not as hot. Funtime Chica, more hot though. Number 5, Toy Chica. Obviously, Chica is just one of the hottest animatronics out there. I don't think any of us are going to debate this. If you do want to debate this, meet me in the comments, let's have a debate. But among the different types of Chica animatronics, Toy Chica is considered to be one of the hottest ones out there. It could have to do with her very scantily clad appearance, with her like, she's wearing just like her little, it's like a bib basically, and like little, like basically underwear. Or perhaps it's thanks to her ability to, you know, remove her beak. I personally think Chica being able to remove her beak is really creepy, but I could see how other people might feel differently about it, because, you know, some people don't find a beak, I guess, hot. I don't know. Toy Chica is also generally depicted as being curvier than most models of the animatronic, and has a focus on her eyes when it comes to fan art versions of the character. This is where it gets a little weird. The really weird thing is that this can extend to not just her big blue eye version with her beak and her eyelashes attached, but her other non-beak, like pinprick white light eye version, where she appears to actually kind of be missing her eyes and only have 2 little bright white lights peering out of her eye sockets. So I guess some people also find the creepy vibes hot when it comes to Toy Chica, which, okay, I see you. I see you. You are seen. Number 4, Roxanne Wolf. Roxanne Wolf is one of the newest animatronics, which is why I'm also a little bit surprised that she would be included on this list, but yet we cannot deny how much love there is out there for Roxy, and I love that. I love that we have gotten new animatronics in Security Breach via Montgomery Gator and Roxanne Wolf, and the people have just completely embraced them and kind of fallen in love with them. I think that's really cool. Roxy comes across initially in the game as being all about herself, but later on we learn that there might be more to her after she becomes shattered, and she expresses great distress concerning that if she isn't beautiful any longer, people won't love her anymore. Oh, there's an amazing sense of like connection I think people feel with Roxy that doesn't quite exist with any other animatronics we've seen this far for that reason. I think it's a combo of her punk rock vibes and her complex personality that makes her attractive to fans. Also, you know, she got that hair. Her hair is very glamorous. It's very glam rockerous. Number 3, Montgomery Gator. Montgomery Gator is a pretty muscular appearing animatronic, which I think is why some people find him to be hot. He also just has really cool sunglasses in my opinion. I used to have a pair of sunglasses very similar to his when I was a teenager, and I gotta say, I miss those sunglasses. They were super cool. I would perhaps try to become a little friendlier with Monty just for like a chance at borrowing his sunglasses. Mine were orange though, and appropriately reminded me of a very glam rock-esque band, I suppose, Kiss. Well, not straight up glam rock perhaps, but you know, definitely similar vibes. If you aren't familiar with Kiss, if that was before your time, you should definitely check them out. They are a mood for sure, and they're definitely people that I feel like would wear sunglasses like Monty does. If they haven't already, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like pictures of them with star sunglasses. Number 2, Ringmaster Foxy. Ringmaster Foxy is another one that is pretty feisty. I heard everyone's clamors in the comments of the part 1 in this video series. How could I forget Foxy, you asked me. Oh, to be honest, I never forget Foxy. I would say Foxy and Chica to this day remain my few favorite animatronics in the game. Although I will say everybody's take on Roxy is also making me really take another look at Roxy as well. Roxy maybe is really awesome. I have a little Foxy plush that was gifted to me that I cherish, and I'm still waiting for a Foxy FNAF shirt to pop up in some of my favorite fandom shops so that I can rep Foxy as well with my t-shirt collection. But I guess I've always thought of Foxy, I don't know, as my bestie, not necessarily a hottie, just like my BFF for life. Although, you know, pirates can definitely be hot. But what's hotter than a piratical version of Foxy? How about his Ringmaster version from Special Delivery? Honestly, the Special Delivery versions of animatronics don't get enough love on our channel. They're so creative, which is why I'm really happy to include Ringmaster Foxy with his whip hand on this list. What can I say? Whips are kinda great. They're kinda awful, obviously, but also kinda great. Number 1, Mermaid Chica. One of the weird things about Mermaid Chica was that I spotted her in Security Breach and then was so amazed and stunned by her existence that I forgot that she also existed originally in Help Wanted. That's just how good the art in Security Breach is for her though too. In Security Breach, I think we only see her via art that appears in the world, but I'm still here for the idea of all animatronics possessing their own mermaid or merman or merperson versions, or just, you know, like aquatic versions of them in general. I really like mermaids and aquatic themes, so I'm very much here for this. Mermaid Chica initially appeared, I believe, in Help Wanted, and instead of the classic double shell that most mermaids, such as Ariel, sport, she appears to wear one giant clamshell, I think it's a clamshell, as a top. As cute as Mermaid Chica is, I gotta say, if you think about what she is, it's pretty weird and even a little bit creepy. Part chicken, part fish. She's kind of like a weird animal hybrid mashup, but an animatronic. Also, if you had a real Mermaid Chica, how would she walk? Does she levitate? How does that work? Number 9, Mangle. I didn't believe that Mangle could be sexy, to be honest. I had heard the rumblings, and I wanted to be able to deny that they were true. But then I looked up Mangle FNAF sexy. Do that at your own peril, because you will definitely find some very weird, very sexy things. I don't know how I feel about them. Personally, I think I feel uncomfortable. But there are people that really love Mangle out there, perhaps a little bit too much. When it comes to Mangle, I feel like the makeup is a big selling point for fans. That and the idea perhaps that Mangle is an interactive animatronic. I'm going to let you interpret that as you will, but I'm mainly talking about the fact that Mangle was disassembled and reassembled seemingly for fun. Pink is also just a color that I feel a lot of people like. It can be very feminine and very flirty, and this definitely sticks with people when it comes to how they perhaps see Mangle and the animatronic's potential sexiness, playfulness, and possibly feminine side. Number 7, Mr. Hippo. Speaking of the mediocre melodies, I don't know, friends, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty really with this list in terms of animatronics that I have left to talk about that one could consider as hot. So here we go with Mr. Hippo. I think for Mr. Hippo, I just really love his little hat and his purple coloring. Like I said, I really love the color purple. Also, why can't Hippo animatronics be hot? Why is that not a thing? In terms of animatronics that are falling apart or run down, the Mediocre Melodies group actually has a lot of animatronics who are in good shape by comparison to such groups as, let's say, the Nightmare animatronics. Mr. Hippo also has a flower on his chest, so that with his little black top hat makes him look dapper. And I don't know, I like an animatronic that looks dapper. I think that's hot, looking dapper. Number 6, Lolbit. Whether you are imagining Lolbit as male, female, or their standard they themselves, it seems that you might find them attractive. At least that's what the internet seems to be claiming. If you don't believe me on this one, just look up some attractive fan art of Lolbit. It is out there. There's a lot of it. You might be surprised, or maybe not if you're already a big fan, that there is already just a lot of that kind of fan art out there. I find this especially surprising since while I know a lot of people do love Lolbit, which I respect, they're still considered to be a pretty minor character and in many cases are generally only shown as like a disembodied head, I think. But hey, maybe people just really love the coloring, or are here for Lolbit's, I don't know, their glowing personality? If you're a major Lolbit fan, maybe you can enlighten us on the attractiveness of this animatronic in the comments, and why you personally like them. Number 5, Hand Unit. I don't really know what I'm doing with this list right now by including hand unit, but I guess what I find to be somewhat attractive about hand unit, if I had to pick, obviously 10 more animatronics that are considered hot, which is, you know, yeah, what we're doing here, is that hand unit is somewhat aloof and mysterious. Also, the original voice for hand unit that we hear in Sister Location, I like it. Sometimes hand unit makes me laugh in Sister Location, and other times they make me like really nervous. Mainly I like the idea of having a romance with an all-powerful AI that can control life and death. I think that's kind of a cool, albeit, you know, creepy idea. But hey, this is FNAF, so many of the things are both cool and creepy. It's a horror game. And one of the ways us FNAF fans deal with the absolute horror show of the lore and these games is by making our own headcanon about how animatronics, and by extension disembodied AI voices, which evidently is more what I'm talking about here, could even become dear friends over time who only want to protect us. I mean, I feel like having hand unit on my side would be really good, I'm just saying. This is a huge part of the reason why we are so willing to accept the protective and friendly nature of Glamrock Freddy and Security Breaches players. So I think it makes sense that in my mind I'm imagining a hand unit that's like really sweet and nice and, you know, just wants to bring me flowers. Is there anything wrong with that? Probably, but I don't care, I want flowers. Flowers are nice. Number 4, Sun and Moon, also known as the daycare attendant. Sun and Moon are both separate personas of the same character who works in the daycare at Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex. For some reason, there were a lot of people in the comments requesting that Sun and Moon be highlighted as a hot animatronic. And apparently, this is because a lot of people really like him. And honestly, I've even seen these two sides of the same coin be shipped together as well from trying to look up fan art of them, which is like a weird concept to think about because, like, aren't they the same person? So how can you ship them together? There's lots of art with them having like a baby together and I'm just like, but how will that? Okay, sure, why not? Why not? If you like it, it's fine. As long as it doesn't hurt anybody else, I think it's cool. Number 3, Ballora. I don't know what it is with people in Ballora, but there are a lot of folks out there who are seemingly like obsessed with her. It must be that, you know, severe like waist to hip ratio that she got going on. She got like very hourglass proportions, I feel. And perhaps her sense of grace, which lends to her, dare I say, beauty. Ballora is also quite feminine, which probably adds to people adoring her both in appearance and in terms of her behavior. Although she can still jump scare you in Sister Location, she's also a lot more timid or reserved, at least outwardly. She can sing and dance, so her talents are another reason people likely find her attractive, and her purple eyes, although we never really quite get to see them. Well, that is unless you're getting jump scared, but I'm not sure if people are here for that. I guess if you find scary things sexy, then you might be into that. Myself personally, nah, not so much. Number 2, Glamrock Freddy. Glamrock Freddy is weirdly attractive. He is super tall, seemingly buff, who also stands as a father figure to Gregory. He's kind, he's compassionate, sweet, and genuine. Plus, he's also a rock star, being one of the Glamrock animatronics and their lead singer. What is there not to like there? For some reason, people also love to draw him looking like super jacked. He's not only drawn to look buff though, he's also often drawn to look super handsome, usually sporting a chiseled jaw in fan art and a sweet, sometimes shy or playful expression. It makes sense that we'd think Glamrock Freddy is attractive though. He is designed to act as our pal, our friend, and our protector in Security Breach. And for that reason, it makes sense that people would see him in a more attractive light, because he's kind of playing an attractive role there. There is also a lot of fan art with him winking and like offering congratulations, saying, "Way to go, superstar," a line of encouragement from the game that he's become pretty famous for, and even in some cases memeable for. Number 1, Glamrock Chica. Glamrock Chica is definitely one of my favorite animatronics when it comes to the hottest one. That feels really weird to say. Glamrock Chica just seems like she usually has a fun-loving attitude. I mean, even when she's chasing after you and is horrifying, she still kind of seems like fun to me. Like, I don't know, I might not mind being caught by Glamrock Chica. Well, you know, except for the whole like jump scare part, and she probably is gonna like, you know, kill you part. This version of Chica seems to also love pizza, and I feel like she and I could both bond over that. I also really love pizza. The Glamrock animatronics also all come with some of the best designs in regards to their looks, so hey, that's also a bonus. So if y'all couldn't guess the one animatronic that inspired this list, it was Glamrock Freddy, with this fan art by Amon S, in particular being the one that triggered us to make it, so I guess thank you for that.
In at 10, Five Nights in Anime. Okay, now this isn't exactly a mod for a FNAF game in general, but it's a modification of the characters and the story that will make your significant other question everything if they see you playing it. So you know what, I'm gonna count it, plus I need more for this list. There was not 10 actual mods. I mean, like, hey, I know that people love animatronics, and I know that that love can get a little weird, but even I was surprised to learn that this game existed. And you know what, I've seen a lot of fan art for this franchise, a lot of it, and I thought that I'd seen it all, but apparently I haven't, because you know what, here's Five Nights in Anime. This game was basically created to parody FNAF, where instead of you being a security guard at a Freddy's restaurant, you're actually hired as the security guard at an anime convention, and it's up to you to watch over these anime style animatronic versions of the Freddy's cast. Yeah, they're still animatronics. We've got the core cast of animatronics, they're just stylized as well-endowed anime ladies, because why not? I don't know. I think the really weird thing about this game is that how many people seemed to want more of it, and then wanted a version that leads more into the genre itself instead of just being a parody, which is kind of weird. In at 9, Buff Freddy and Morty. And don't think that I'm not gonna be inclusive. For all those who love the dudes, who love the trash men of every universe, Buff Freddy and Morty are here to honestly make me feel just as uncomfortable as any other mods that are on this list. The last time that this mod was updated, it was 6 months ago, and it, quote, added super buff versions of Freddy and Monty, optionally making them even beefier. Created by storebrand_mods on Game Banana, this is certainly something. Although they swear it was just meant to be a small model edit that makes Freddy and Monty a good bit beefier, they blame any other feelings that you get from this mod on a thumbnail for a gameplay video on the Vanamelon channel on YouTube. Which, yeah, I looked at it, it's certainly kinda sus. Okay? It is worth noting, however, that if you do want to install this, the mod requires Unnervum to actually install properly. Not sure what that means. I don't really mod Security Breach, but I guess plenty of you understand it. At least if you're watching this this list for more mods to add to your to download section. I'm sure you'll understand it. Okay, these animatronics are already scarily jacked, though I didn't think you needed to make them any beefier, but you did, so there you go. In at 8, Roxy's Mega Pizzaplex. Are you obsessed with Roxy? If you are, I'm sure any relationship you have is already on the rocks. However, if you really want to drive your obsession into the ground, this Roxy Mega Pizzaplex mod is for you. Created by user Moon on Game Banana, this isn't really that kind of mod, but it's definitely questionable why you'd change the Pizzaplex to be about Roxy. I mean, it could make sense for like after the main story when Freddy leaves, but even then it would be Monty who replaced him. Luckily enough though, they actually come up with an explanation for this and replace Monty with someone else. However, they also replace the original Roxy with Freddy. So if Freddy is still there, I don't know how this works with the lore, but you know what? Oh well. It's not a mod that will make your internet provider worry that you're okay, but it's still a mod that will make your significant other or any prospective partner think twice about what's going on in your head. You know what? Either one. Either head, you know? But yeah, I definitely would question it as well. Chica's Mega Pizzaplex, though. That's understandable. In at 7, Classic Glamrock Chica. This mod is described as a retexture for the Glamrock animatronics meant to be inspired by original early game designs for the characters, with the exception being that Monty and Roxy are new characters, but with color schemes reflecting the characters that they're replacing on the roster, with Roxy looking like Foxy, being called Roxy the Pirate Wolf, and Monty being Montgomery Gator and inspired by Bonnie, of course. But considering how Chica's coloring is based on Toy Chica in this mod, I think we can see where I'm going with this and why this mod is on this list. Like I said, Toy Chica is the original dummy thick animatronic, so sending the glam rock version back to her roots is definitely going to get some people going crazy. Not me, obviously, because FNAF 2 Chica didn't want me and I prefer glam rock Chica, but this also brings up a disturbing point. Chica in Security Breach is white. Like, just plain old white. Whereas in the previous games, she was yellow. Which suggests that only now Chica is an adult chicken, since baby chickens are yellow, whereas adult ones are white. This mod, in a sense, solves that issue, because if her feathers are never white, then she's just like a chicken anomaly that stays yellow forever, just like the AM Samani chickens, like the goth chickens, the ones that are all black, it's like that. But it would be Chica. And it's 6 Ignited Chica. This one is scary because, well, it replaces the normally soothing and loving glam rock Chica with Ignited Chica from the Joy of Creation game. The game that's referenced on 2 arcade machine types able to be found throughout the Pizzaplex. But that's absolutely terrifying since, you know, the whole point of that game is that you play as Scott Cawthon and his family trying to escape the horrors that have come out of the games and want revenge on you for giving up the series. I think you can get why this is here now. And I mean, like, it replaces the dummy thick Chica we would get normally, which is a cardinal sin. It is a sin against the commandments written upon the FNAF stones. Thou shalt not block the thickness. And this model literally removes half of Chica's body in a fashion that's so gruesome it makes Burntrap look normal. Okay, it would have been fun if she was either still smoldering a little bit maybe, or like if she left scorch prints on the floor for a couple seconds before they vanished, but she doesn't, so sin. How are we doing at number 5? Glam Chica in FNAF 1. Ah yes, a FNAF 1 mod, which is kind of crazy actually. With this mod, you get exactly what you'd expect. It's what it says on the packaging. This mod adds Glam Rock Chica from Security Breach into FNAF 1. It requires text mod in order to run properly, but other than that, you're all set. I mean, it just puts still images of Chica on the cameras and to replace the normal Chica. And from the looks of things, it's not really like excellently done. It's just like, you know, pictures of Chica instead of making it actually seem like they're a 3D model in the world. But I mean, like, at this point, I'll take what I can get, right? I'd rather have Glam Rock Chica hunting me down in FNAF 1 than normal Chica, okay? And if the last mod goes against the commandments by replacing the thickness, then this mod is like the one that will save our souls and allow us to join the FNAF gods. Adding the thickness to where it once was not is nothing short of godlike. And at 4, Guardian Swap. For those of you who wanted to choose your Guardian DLC, so mostly you could try to get inside Chica, here you go. This is the perfect mod for you. No, why would I have that downloaded? What are you talking about? This is a Glam Rock Freddy, Glam Rock Chica model swap, and I mean, like, it doesn't really change the poses or anything like that, meaning that Freddy will act the same way as Chica and vice versa, but it's still certainly an interesting mod that I'm pretty sure plenty of people are going to use for plenty of things, all of which are normal and not sinful in the slightest, I'm sure. I don't know why you would suggest such a thing on a list about dummy thick Chica mods. Why are you saying that this is for other purposes? Damn, get your mind out of the gutter. Some of the issues with this mod, however, seem to have at least included Freddy still being the parts and service model, subtitles still saying that Freddy is talking, and I'm not actually sure if the lines got revoiced, but it's a possibility. But if the captions are saying that it's Freddy, I doubt the lines are dubbed, or I guess would have to be spliced together, so that's unfortunate. Getting close to the end, and at number 3, Vanny Thunder Thighs. I mean, it's something that we knew would happen, and I think that it's something that I've actually joked about in the past about wanting, but like, why would you do this to yourself and us? But like, also mostly yourself, because your name is attached to it, and I very clearly am not actually trying to nail Vanny or Vanessa, okay? Chica's my main girl. And you know what? I'm actually glad you kind of held back, okay? This mod could have been worse, okay? You could have taken this to the extreme. You could have made it that she's only wearing the mask. You could have made it that like her suit is skimpy, like basically every Skyrim armor mod ever. And you could have done a lot more, but you just made her thighs huge. And I can appreciate the restraint. I really can. So, mock again. I think that's how you'd say the name. I'm sorry if I keep butchering it. Well done on restraining yourself from going even harder. Pun absolutely intended. Of course, like, Jesus, like, I can't even deal with this anymore, okay? I think we've seen all of this enough, specifically, especially after seeing the comments on this mod. That one comment was yikes. Penultimately, in at number 2, thick. Building off the last number, for this number, I'm making my own category of mods, okay? This number is for any mod that makes any of the characters bigger, and in this case, typically thicker, okay? There are quite a few, and honestly, it's concerning. Fat Freddy and Monty, for example, like I mentioned earlier. Also, Thunder Thighs Vanny, but also Thick Vanessa, and then multiple mods that, let's say, enhance Roxy and Chica, sometimes separately, sometimes not. Okay, there are separate bigger Roxy and Chica mods, but also the one on the Nexus that makes them both bigger in certain areas, as the mod author describes it, okay? Like, I understand that sex sells, okay? I went to advertising school, I get that, but seriously, with animatronics? Like, come on, Chica was already pretty damn thick. you didn't need to pile on. Okay, then Roxy already seemed to have a lot of fans based on her original version as well, especially given the thumbnail that I did for Gaming Elite when I pretended to censor her. Come on, they're man-made plastic constructed robots, okay? Come on. I know that, like, I joke about Chica and it's probably gonna prevent me from getting a girlfriend at literally any point in my life, especially if they find these videos, but you know what? It's not real. I'm kidding. It's a joke, okay? Or at least I am kidding until the day that Chica's real. But until then, I'm kidding. Alright, so relax. Please, stop. Speaking of which, finally, into number 1, not modest animatronics. And this is another number that I felt like I had to put on this list, because this is what made me have to do the list in the first place. I can't actually say the name of the actual mod without getting in trouble from the gods above, those being Susan and the rest of YouTube's staff and AI algorithms. However, this not modest or not clothed animatronics mod is very concerning for me, okay? People keep DMing me, trying to tell me to download this mod. No! This mod removes the clothing. I'm putting air quotes on it because, again, it's plastic, okay? And then it leaves both Roxy and Chica exposed. So clearly it's not gonna be a viable option for a YouTube playthrough, okay? And the Patreon isn't even, I'm not stooping myself to that level, okay? But also, why are they so well endowed with this mod? Why? Sweet heavens, why? Okay, at least if you're gonna make this mod, make it realistic, okay? Like, come on. They must be wearing some high-tier compression fabric or something like that, okay? Because when you have this mod, yowza! Plus, apparently, images on Google also show me that there's a Monty version of this mod, giving him, as well, some well-endowed chest articles, which is just... why? What the hell is up with that? Monty doesn't need chesticles, okay? In at 10, bigger Chica. There are separate bigger Roxy and bigger Chica mods, but there's also one on the Nexus that makes both Chica and Roxy, quote, bigger in certain areas, as the mod author describes it. God, like, okay, I understand that sex sells, but seriously? Why with animatronics? Chica is already pretty damn thick, especially if you look at Toy Chica. Okay, and Roxy seems to have a lot of fans based off her original version as well. So, like, why did we need to expand them? Literally speaking. Like, when we can just leave them the way they are, and then you can admire them for their natural, constructed by man and made of plastic figures, I guess. Or, hear me out, we don't worry about it at all, okay? Unless I'm talking about Chica, which this whole list is about, okay? I don't know if I'll be talking about Chica until I get a girlfriend, honestly, at this point. Or maybe talking about Chica is preventing me from getting a girl. Oh well, either way, at least I have Chica until I don't need her anymore, which is proving to take longer than I had hoped. In at 9, Chica's Chase. If I'm honest, this is the mod of my dreams. Not because I've had a dream about it, okay, but because this is a dream that I want to have. With this mod installed, at random times, Chica will start to chase the player suddenly. But not just one Chica, a whole horde of them. And yes, I absolutely mean that as a pun, you did not hear the emphasis wrong. To not only be chased by one, but multiple women is actually the dream, or I guess maybe it was the dream after I got my soul absolutely decimated, or maybe it was like that one commercial that literally like every Canadian 90s kid should remember. You know, like the one where the kid is like running from like the 3 girls, but he can't run anymore, so they catch up to him. The logo filacho tree. You know that one? I mean, come on. You need to know it. It was just for a message saying to stay fit just in case. implying that being active would actually have unexpected benefits, but I don't know why they thought a kid who wasn't active and needed that reminder would have to run away from girls. In my experience, they only liked the kids who played sports, but I don't know, maybe you should have had some like superhero action saying that I could be like Spider-Man if I was active or something. That might have done more, but still. Yeah, I like this mod. In at 8, Fan Game Trio. The Fan Game Trio mod pack is a mod that replaces Toy Bonnie as Pop Goes the Weasel, Toy Chica as Candy the Cat, and Withered Bonnie as Ignited Bonnie in Ultimate Custom Night. These characters are from 3 of the most popular FNAF fan games, Pop Goes, Five Nights at Candy's, and The Joy of Creation. Ironically, all of which are actually coming to the Fazbear Extended Universe thanks to the Fazbear Fanverse Initiative. Which is certainly interesting, since this mod for Ultimate Custom Night was released in 2019, meaning it predates the announcement for the Fanverse. So technically, this mod, in a way, could, in theory, be canon. But I'm not going to get into this list because that would drive me crazy. I'll let MatPat deal with that, even though I know for a fact that he won't, because let's be honest, he shouldn't even try to step up to me. I say that only because he has absolutely no idea who I am, and I'm okay with that, but like, still, yeah. If you wanted to experience the Fazbear Extended Universe, there you go. But all you need is this mod by Elite Robo, but since this replaces Toy Chica, the original dummy thick Chica, I think it counts for this list. However, it is a sin to replace our thick mommy with Candy the Cat. And at 7, Five Nights in Anime 2. And you know what, just when I thought that those fan games couldn't get any worse, Five Nights in Anime has a sequel. Oh boy. And you know what, they just keep coming. It's like the all-star of FNAF games. This version of Five Nights in Anime is even more bizarre than the first one, and it's really more of the same though, with the same tropes, but this time parodying it. Can you guess it? Yeah, that's right. FNAF 2. My question is though, if this is a parody in the exact same vein, did we really need a sequel for it? Okay, I don't know. But I mean, there might have been a good amount of people asking for it, considering how this is a thing that we did get. Although, I do want to acknowledge the fact that the first Five Nights in Anime game got 3.5 million downloads, then the second one only got 1.8. So maybe you shouldn't have done it. Although 1.8 million, if I got 1.8 million views on a video, that'd be insane. Either way, it's better than that one mod for Security Breach, okay, that people keep telling me to download in my Instagram DMs. Don't worry, I'll talk about it later. Yeah, you do realize what platform this is, right? I could not share that. Although, if I did it on like Patreon or something. Does OnlyFans have rules against that? And at 6, Freddy Footbear. Alright, look, okay, I'm not one to yuck someone's yum. Okay, I'm not here to kink shame. I actually understand the science behind this kind of fascination. The two sections of the brain are so close that like the neural networks can sometimes get crossed. And that's totally 100% okay. Alright, nothing to be ashamed of. I'm not into it, but if you are, that's fine. The only thing I'm questioning here is adding this feature to a giant 80s glam rock themed bear animatronic that's in a video game. That's the part that's kind of strange to me, okay? And the mod author isn't any help, okay? As Seaborg on Game Banana puts it, quote, gives Glamrock Freddy a pair of human feet. No, I won't elaborate. So thanks for the help on that, Seaborg, or Keborg, I guess. I don't know how exactly you would say it. It starts with a C-E, so I'm inclined to say Seaborg. But because it's kind of like cyborg, but I'm also inclined to say keyboard because, like, you know, Connor with the C. But you know what? Since you won't elaborate, neither will I. Next number. Halfway through in at number 5, Fat Freddy and Monty. Ah yes, with a ton of people online claiming to love dad bods and only dad bods so that they can get even more followers and attention, you know that I was going to have to include Fat Freddy and Monty. I feel like a dad bod Freddy and Monty would have been a better name for this and gotten more clicks, but you know what, it's fine. You can fat shame guys online, right? That's the rule, right? Body shame guys and guys only. Yeah, like 50 Cent, oh man, haha. That dude let go. Anyway, have you heard Lizzo's new song lately? Okay, sorry. Double standards aside, this is quite simply just a beer belly Monty and Freddy. Or as the mod author Moik puts it, Moik, I'm sorry for the horrible pronunciation, quote, another cursed mod makes Montgomery and Freddy look like Discord mods. But at least this way, you fitting in Glamrock Freddy's chest cavity actually kind of makes more sense because it wouldn't just be a 14-inch vertical hole. It's like that but horizontally now. So I think that's kind of more accurate. I mean, I could nearly fit in that, I think. Like my shoulders are like 17 inches long, but like my head certainly isn't, so I feel like I could fit in it if I was facing the right way. Like this is not 14 inches. so like I could fit in it like that. I don't know. So like this way, you don't have to be the size of a 4-year-old anymore, Gregory. There you go. But seriously, why do you have this mod installed already? Why? In at 4, Five Nights of Love. Oh yes, another fan game, okay? One that I didn't know existed, but I had a feeling that it would. I figured that if KFC could have a dating sim, then FNAF might have one too, right? And it absolutely does. I'm just waiting for the FNAF console. Ah, you heard me right, alright? It's a FNAF dating sim. You love shipping animatronics with everything, living or not, in the games or not, and you know what? With a human trapped in a suit and a pile of trash, or a human trapped in a suit and a short skeleton from the underworld, you'll still ship it, and it's disturbing. But this time, you get to decide who actually makes the cut in Five Nights of Love. Tracking via cameras, you look at the rooms of a public place, and you'll periodically meet the toy versions of Chica, Foxy, Freddy, and Balloon Boy. With each one of them, the player can have like a heart-to-heart talk, or try to hug them, which is a whole other thing, but you know what, you give them all your love and attention, and then thanks to the treatment, the level of the toy's love towards you will increase, but also your energy will decrease, and then once your energy is out, you have to return to your office, your actual room, or I guess go home, and then come back the next day and start again. Partially though, you can actually like recharge energy at Balloon Boy once a day, I think, if you get lucky. But over this period of 5 days, you gotta make sure as many animatronics love you as possible, which is weird and a whole, I don't want to start any animatronic orgies, alright? That's kind of weird. But you know what? The higher score you get, the more successfully you complete this game. Why is this a thing? Why? Getting close to the end, in at number 3, FNAF 1 Shadow Chica. FNAF 1 Shadow Chica is once again exactly what you see on the packaging. This mod changes Chica's textures to give her a more shadowy look. The mod author, Octoling Zinna, a author for a good amount of these mods actually, forgot to edit her stage images though, so her on stage is normal Chica, but when she comes off, she becomes Shadow Chica, which honestly, I feel like is kind of more realistic in a sense, because like there's light shining on her on the stage. And I mean, considering how it's a shadow animatronic, literally anything can really make sense. Like out of everything in the FNAF series, the shadow animatronics are some of the most insane bits of lore in the series. They don't make sense even in FNAF's flawed logic, where doors can close and use power when there's literally no way that it would make sense if they came down instead of coming up from the ground. And yes, I'm using this as a way to complain about the goddamn doors again. Okay, and I also just provided a simple solution that would have made everything work well. You just have the doors come up out of the ground, and then the whole using power to close thing makes sense, but it doesn't if they're coming down, okay? You're just using gravity. Gravity doesn't use power. And ultimately, in at number 2, play as Glamrock Chica. Coming from the YouTube channel Dak Blake, the play as Chica mod enables you to, well, play as Chica in Security Breach. You also need to chase Gregory around the Pizzaplex, who actually has a custom AI with this mod, and it includes new custom AIs, new abilities. It's almost like Security Breach got a DLC. This mod is made by Cocosco, and with it, they were able to actually make their own Security Breach cutscenes, and even have their own secret endings, which is freaking nuts. However, it doesn't seem like this mod is free for anyone to download. I couldn't find a download link, but maybe it's available on a Patreon somewhere, either Dak Blake's or Cocosco's, if either of them have one. It's definitely unfortunate though, because I think we all know that I would want to play as my girl hunting down the actual psychopath that is Gregory, because honestly, Gregory's the bad guy of Security Breach, but I can also understand why they wouldn't release it to the public, okay? Because like the minute they do, the internet is flooded with playing as Chica videos, and their original video probably gets lost to the algorithm as YouTube prioritizes the newer videos. Or at least I think that's how the algorithm works. I still don't entirely understand it. And finally, in at number 1, Bear animatronics. And no, I don't mean everyone is a version of Freddy Fazbear. This mod is about animatronics without those colored pieces of plastic that simulate clothing, but then it also replaces them so that they aren't showing their bare endoskeleton, if you know what I mean. This is another mod that I felt I had to put on this list, and there was no way I was putting it at the beginning. This is all why you came here, and honestly, I can't actually say the name of the mod without getting in trouble from the YouTube gods above. Those being Susan and the rest of YouTube's subjugated AI servants. However, they're not clothed, okay? It's very concerning, in my opinion, because like people keep DMing me to download this mod, but I literally can't. I don't know why you're asking me. This mod removes the clothing, air quotes, on both Roxy and Chica, leaving them exposed, and it also enlarges things as well. So clearly it's not a viable option for a YouTube playthrough, okay? Although a Patreon, I guess, isn't out of the question. Does anyone have like gaming OnlyFans? Is that a thing? I don't know, that'd be funny. Either way, okay, what the living hell? Why is this a mod? But also, again, why are they so well endowed? Oh Lord, sweet heavens to Betsy. Like, at least if you're gonna make this mod, make it somewhat more realistic, cause like, now it feels like they're wearing some like extreme high tier compression fabric, like Vanny when you use the Fat Vanessa mod, because like, yowza! Apparently, images on Google also potentially there's a Monty version of this mod, giving him some well-endowed chest articles as well. So yeah, I don't know what the hell's up with that, but that's a video for another day. No way in hell.